Go ahead.
All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Giving all praises to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem
Yahushai,
and double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone and rule well. Salutation to the brothers all over the world preaching the truth, waking up our people to the divine heritage and cursing out to do it because when you get a spirit right with the Lord. To the aqua that listen and learn, shalom. To the brothers that may look at the other nations, shalom, shalom, shalom. Right?
Shalom.
GMS Prophetic Vibration signing on a Monday night. You understand? Monday, Sunday and Monday, the works must go on.
Gone.
We have a lesson we're going into. Talk to them, please, Gahan.
Alright, so we have something that we're going into. Alright, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for all the young brothers and sisters. Alright.
Take your pen, your paper if you're watching this video and take down the notes.
Alright.
How we learn in this truth is by taking down notes. You know, if you're fresh in the truth and you know come out and you want to know what these breakdowns are about, take your pen and your paper and sit down in front of your TV and take the scriptures down, research it yourself.
Gone. Alright, so basically it going on this lesson that we doing tonight. Alright. It's going on a question that I had asked the brothers yesterday, you know, before and after camp and whatnot so forth. Alright. Pursuant to who are the Palestinians. Alright. With respect to if these people are the original people of the land, you know, they are due to respect of their nationality and whatnot so forth. Alright? Because you have a situation right now in the Holy Land where is turmoil between two not just, I wouldn't say two factions, but two nations, two race of people. Alright, that claim and stake to a land. Alright, claim and stake on I would say stolen property. You understand? And going at war and shedding much bloodshed and lots of rhetoric and whatnot so forth with war and whatnot, you know, to a land, a piece of property that does not belongs to either of them. Alright? So
Let's start with a scripture. One there.
go ahead now, and then I will
You and me on the same page.
Same thing?
No, not
All
same
right.
thing, but
Well,
we're on the same Isaiah. I did spirit
Yeah,
in
can't.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 7. It
Go ahead.
reads, your country is desolate,
Mm-hmm.
your cities are burnt with fire,
Go ahead.
your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
Strangers devour it in your presence. And to back it up, to back up that scripture, Yakal, go give me Lamentations 5 and 2, Baba Kushag. Give me it as quick as possible. Yeah. I think it's 5 and 2.
Look at Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 2. It
Yeah.
says, our inheritance
Uh-huh.
is turned to strangers.
It's turned to what?
To strangers.
Uh-huh.
Our houses to aliens.
Can. Go ahead.
We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows.
Can. And this is the situation with us. Alright? Due to our disobedience and what have you. Alright? The Lord has made good on his word and cast us out.
Hey, read that over again one more time, please.
5 and
Yeah, Lamentation 5 and 2.
Could you read it all over again?
Right, this is the book of Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows.
Can.
Break it down.
Can. Alright? So, as I said, you know, the Lord made good on his word, good on his promise. Alright? Pursuant to Daniel 9 and 11, you know, where all Israel has transgressed the laws, whatnot, so forth, and all Israel, you know, so the curse has fallen upon Israel. Alright? And part of that curse is where the land now is given unto strangers. I wouldn't say given unto strangers. Well, yes, given on because the Lord gave them the land, alright, for them to tread upon the land and defile the land and do all the abominations and the debauchery and whatnot so forth, you know, on the land, all right, by the way of the idol worship and all these things, because the Palestinians, along with those Ish people, they are a whole bunch of idol worshippers. The Ish people, they deal with Kabbalah, magic, and the Talmud and all that wickedness. All right, and then you have the Palestinians with the sun worship, moon worship, all right, Islam, all right, the wickedness.
Cabal stone.
Yeah, the Kabbal stone and all that bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, because when you go in the book of Deuteronomy, in the book of Deuteronomy 28, I think it's verse, if I help out, there was 34 or
35.
35, yeah.
35, yeah.
Where thou shalt worship both wood and stone.
Thou shalt worship wood and stone.
Yeah.
Even, we say gods that your fathers knew not about.
Can.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so to,
64.
Right.
Right, so, but the brother just read, our inheritance is given into strangers, in the hands of the strangers, right?
can.
Right? And they desecrated the land all over, you understand? And with the idol worshipping and so forth. Now all this happened because why? We broke the everlasting covenant.
Can. Finish it out and then our thing, and then I'll go back to go I want to deal, go into it.
So it's Isaiah 1 and 7.
Mhm.
Now we say, your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, right? Because we can see what's going on right now.
Mhm.
And here the beauty about it. And the scripture says, and there'll be no might in your hand to do nothing.
Can.
You just have to stand there and watch, and your eyes shall feel in long.
Hmm.
And long, it come like in the days of Daniel, the Israelites, when the princes of Judah got carried away into Babylon, their eyes was longing to see Jerusalem once more and to see become a praise again.
Yeah.
And every day Daniel would wake up and pray for Jerusalem, you know,
Can.
and pray that the Lord restore it, you know.
Can.
And the heathens get the set apart exactly, but on that wouldn't happen. Daniel prayers really is for our time, you know.
Can.
All the prophets' lamentation is for our time, you know. We the children in this time will see the Lord make Jerusalem a praise once more again.
Can.
Whether
It reads, and it is desolate, continuing, as overthrown by strangers.
and it is desolate and what?
As overthrown by strangers.
And it is desolate and it is overthrown by strangers. These strangers goes into heathens.
Can.
Well,
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in the vineyard.
Right.
The vineyard.
that represents to the four corners of the earth.
Can.
She's left in like a cottage in the vineyard, which is really in this world. Well,
As a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city.
as
Can.
As a besieged city.
she's desolate.
Yeah, we really besieged. We amongst all these nations that we have been scattered amongst.
And we is like the tail. We even we head from the foot.
Can.
So what that for Yahweh or Shai for bringing the elect back to this knowledge.
Can.
The rest of them,
That beautiful they say that next verse, you know.
yeah.
It say, except, this verse 9, Isaiah 1 and 9, except Yahweh Bashim Yahushai of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant.
Which is the elect. Only the elect reminding our people all over the world who they really are. Only the elect, and yet say they will never take heed. They think this thing is fable. You believe the Israelites think their own heritage is fables?
Read. Can. Right? Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
But what did Malachi 4 and 5 say? You see, lest I come and what? Smite the earth with a curse. And the reason why the Lord has smite the earth with a curse yet, well, I mean, it's already cursed, but the reason why the Lord has put that heavy judgment on down yet is because the elect still here. But soon as the Lord seal off everything, that is the day.
Can. That's not the Howard Committee thing there.
Yeah, God. This is the book of Hosea chapter 8 verse 1. It says, set the trumpet to thy mouth, he shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord. It says, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my laws. My law, it says verse 2, it says, Israel shall cry unto me, my Lord, when no thee. Verse 3 say, Israel shall cast off the things that is good the enemy shall pursue him. They shall set up kings, but not by me. It say, but they
So
made
who ruling?
princes.
So who ruling? They read that over they shall set up.
Can it say, verse 4 in the book of Hosea chapter 8, verse 4, it say, they have set up kings, but not by me.
So who ruling? Who ruling right now? Who's in charge of all these things right now? Netanyahu is not a man of the Lord.
Con.
He's not God's anointed. He's not the promised man over Israel. And we call and the leaders of Hamas and all these Islamic nations and Putin. Yeah, just calling out the names now.
Mhm.
They are not the men of the Lord.
He was an anointed king.
You understand? So I just showing you, and where Israel is, where is our king? Well, we waiting for him to come, which is Yahweh Shai. And King and King the arise and the once more arising King David.
Con.
So when Yahweh Shai come, he will rise.
He will
in
rise.
David.
Yeah, con.
And it say they have made princes, and I knew it not. It say
And what?
they have made princes, and I knew it not.
Yeah, the Lord said they made princes. Meaning say they made themselves princesses, and you just name it, dukes and lords and leaders over us. And the Lord said, but I never sanctioned that to be so. In that sense, then I never remember it this way. I never anoint them to be that. Yes, the Lord sanctioned it on the left hand side, but he never. It was not anointed of the Lord. If the anointed of the Lord is something different.
Con.
So that is why the scripture say, but thou shalt serve thy enemy in the wants of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he what? Till he destroy you.
No.
Can we finish it out? It say, and can it say, I knew it not of their silver and their gold have they made their idols, and they may be cut off.
Con.
Yeah, like I put up a video with this Jake. Jake is the first one to kiss in the Kaaba stone. All the rest are heathens, they know Jake is the first one to put heat neck.
Con. Right, so as I said, you know, we going into understanding who are the Palestinians, those Palestinians. All right. So let's start with let's before we go to these Palestinians. All right. Let's start out with who are the true people of the land. All right. Let's find out where this word Palestine stemmed from, because that landmass was not named Palestine. All right, it had a specific name. All right, and it was not Palestine. So, Genesis 10. You could hold blue letter, but let Yasad read, and whenever I call for some from the blue letter, you go bring it out. Go ahead now, Yasad. Start from 10 and 6.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham.
And the sons of who?
Of Ham.
All right, go ahead.
Cush and Mizraim and Put and Canaan.
All right, now hold it there. Okay? 4 sons. All right? Cush, Put, Mizraim or Matazarayam. All right? Cush is Kaash, right? Yeah, Kaash. And Put is Pa'at. All right? And Mizraim or Mitzrayim is where those rats that is in the Yiddish, but in the Lashawan Kodash is Matazarayam. All right, and Matazarayam is where, you know, Kyle, go into Matazarayam there. You don't necessarily need to go into Kush. Kush and the other nations. Go to Matazarayam.
Yeah, it's a
Speak
land,
up, eh?
Yeah, it's a land of the cups,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a country at the northeastern section of Africa,
Uh-huh.
adjacent to Palestine, and through which the Nile flows.
All right, so basically what that landmass is what? Is where you know today as Egypt. All right, Matazarayam in the Lashaw and Kodash, that landmass, all right, that name after Ham's son Matazarayam is where you know today now as Egypt. All right, because the Nile it flows through Egypt, right? Or the Nile, what the Nile also known as again, boy?
Gihon.
The Gihon. All right, good. So continue, Yasad. So we get the four sons of Ham, right? Which is Cush, which is the Ethiopians today. Put, which is the Libyans, but the people in Libya, they are not the true Libyans. All right, the true Libyans, which is the Puttites, they are who you know today as the Somalians. All right, those are the Somalians today. All right, and you have Canaan. Canaan, the Canaanites is your boy, is a deceased boy, Nelson Mandela. All right, these South Africans, all right, they are the Canaanites. Yeah, you know all that nonsense, right? But that,
I have a quick precept here for you.
bring it out quick. Bring it out quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and 28. It says, remove not the ancient land.
It didn't want to bring that as yet.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you go hold it. It's a Yapa precept, but not for the moment, right now. But it's a Yapa precept for the lesson itself.
So put that grenade in your bag.
Can? So go ahead. Go back to...
Genesis 10, right, and this is 7.
Yeah.
And the sons of Cush, Sheba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Raamah, and Sabetesha, and the sons of Raamah, right, Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
All right. Nimrod, and Nimrod name is the meaning of his name is rebellion. Yeah, rebellion. Yeah, but that is neither here nor there for the lesson. Continue.
Verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
You notice he was a mighty hunter. The spirit of the heathen is subjected to the heathen.
Gone.
So who is another hunter, in the scripture?
Esau.
Gone.
Spirit of the heathens, right?
Gone.
It says, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel.
The beginning of his kingdom was what?
Was Babel.
Babel.
Then when these Rastafarians praising Ethiopia and things like that, the way fucking off, right?
Gone. Babel, or to be more exact, to be more precise, Babylonia. That is where that city was located, and where you know today now as modern day Iraq.
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
And Iraq.
Because you see what them things came down from, that came down from way Ethiopia straight down to way like that's what I just say Iraq. You understand?
Because you don't understand is their civilization really. Well, civilization started from Israel, all right, but it went all the way because the people in the land of Iran and whatnot, they were Hamites. Havilah, Havilah, one of the sons one of the grandson of Ham. He was dwelling in Iran. You understand?
Like post the flood.
Can.
After the flood.
After the flood, yeah. Right? Go ahead.
See, people, it's still like you have to just remember in mind, what 3 sons is who repopulated
The earth. Can.
You understand? It's they repopulated the whole earth. Whether
Right, it says, verse 10, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar.
In the land of Shinar. Shinar is also in modern-day Iraq. Go ahead.
Out of that land went forth
Salakia, hold it and for the listeners, for the listeners, anyone who want to scoff and challenge, go and do your research. Go and do your research. Right?
You can't challenge because you're not researching. The scripture says study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. And if you're not studied, you cannot challenge something like if you're not studied. You can't be talking a stamp bag of air.
Go on. Go ahead up.
Verse 11. Out of the land went forth Asher and builded Nineveh and the city of Rehoboth and Calah and Resen between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city.
Nineveh, all that ancient Iraq, Asher, ancient Iraq. Right? Because Iraq is a big country. Don't get it twisted. Iraq is a very big country. Go ahead up.
And for those who don't understand, these names that the Bible talking about, as it's going to claim, same Iraq, is names through the passage at times, name changes now.
Go on.
And that's how it through the passage at times it changes.
Well, Iraq and whatnot, Iraq and Kuwait, the whole of the Middle East, those are newly formed countries, but I will get that later. I will explain that later on into the lesson. Those are newly formed countries. Those countries is newly formed. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And Mizraim.
And Mitzrayim, Matazarayam, they the point we getting at here now. Matazarayam, go ahead.
Begat Ludim. And Anamim. And Lehabim. And Naphtuhim.
Go ahead.
And Patrusim. And Casluhim.
Out
of whom came Philistim.
Out of whom came who?
Philistim.
Alright, so now Kyle, that's what verse is that?
So this is verses 15.
Right, go to the blue letter
14.
and look up the word Philistim.
Yep, listen.
Philistine or Philistine, let's say immigrants and inhabitants of Philistia, descendants of Mizraim.
Descendants of who?
Of Mizraim.
Go ahead.
Who immigrated from Kaftor, right, to the western seacoast of Canaan.
Can. Alright, so with the scripture is showing you that Philistine, right? The people of the land of Philistine were actually of the lineage of Ham, was so-called dark-skinned people, so-called black people, all right, of the lineage of Ham. All right, these people are the grandson of the descendants. All right, Philistine was the grandson of Mitzrayim. So basically, they are so-called Egyptians. You understand what I'm saying? These people are so-called Egyptians. But here now, you have a people that in the land and put out, well, they was not responsible for the change of the name from Philistine to Palestine. That was done by those Grecians and them and whatnot, so forth. You understand? Which I think you could bring out that script, that same scripture where I tell it to hold. You could bring, your son. You could bring it out.
Right, the book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and 28.
Go ahead.
Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set.
Which thy fathers have set, all right? And this is what not only the so-called white man, this is not only he was guilty of that, these Arabs also. Because what you have there is that the change in name, well, the so-called white man changed the name at the land, all right? And the names that we had given into certain parts of that place, all right? When these Arabs came into the land, they changed it from its Hebrew names and start to place the Arabic
Names upon it.
You understand? This is what they're guilty of, not that's only the so-called white man. Now the point and the fact of the matter is, all right, these people who call themselves Palestinians, all right, when you go through your research, when you do your exact research on what have you, you would see, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that these people, they do not belong to the land. Just as they're going with the argument, with the legitimate argument, because it's a legitimate argument that the Ish people, the 1948ers, they don't belong to the land. They know they don't belong to the land and whatnot, so forth, so forth. The land was never theirs and whatnot, so forth. It's the same thing with you all, you Ishmaelites, because you who dwelling in the land there now are Ishmaelites, and not just only Ishmaelites, all right, but also Ammon Turks, all right.
The mix with the other nation.
Right, is a mixture of Esau and Ishmaelites, because what I would say also too, to go even further, not just only the Palestinians, the whole of North Africa, from Egypt goes straight across to Morocco. They are not the original people of that land. Take for instance the Egyptians, the people who in Egypt now. I'm speaking. I say the Egyptian. I'm not speaking of the Egyptians of antiquity. When I say antiquity, I'm speaking of originality.
Egyptian of today.
The Egyptians of today are not the people of the land. All right, the true Egyptians, the true Egyptians that belong to that land are the people of Sudan.
For the most part, they only have a small remnants of them original Egyptians in the land.
In the land, yeah.
And they don't show them.
And they don't show them.
They live in the ghetto areas and them things like that.
Yeah, they don't show them.
They don't show them.
Right?
Yeah, they don't show them.
They don't show them. Right? The true Egyptians are the people of Sudan. Now you would ask yourself, how did these people get to how did these people flee from Egypt? What was the cause for them to flee from Egypt and go down into the land where they know now as, and Sudan is actually an Arabic word for dark skin. The word Sudan, all right, is an Arabic word for dark skin. All right? How did they get there? The reason why they got there, the reason why they had was to flee. They were fleeing from persecution from Ptolemy. All right? Because when Ptolemy came on the scene after the death of Alexander and the kingdom was split and whatnot, so forth, Ptolemy was the man that was responsible. Myself and God did a video on it. All right, pursuant to Jesus Christ and whatnot. Ptolemy was the man responsible for your Serapis Christus. All right, he came up with the god, which is actually Horus. All right, but he whitewashed it and put his own spin on it and whatnot, so forth, and come up with this god called Serapis Christus and presented it to the true Egyptians. All right, and tell them that, hey, forget about Horus and what, because when you look at Horus, when you look at the depiction of Horus, he has the depiction of an Egyptian of antiquity, original, because all the nation, the gods look like them, right?
Definitely.
Right? So when he came with this whole repackaged Horus in the form of Serapis Christus, all right, he tell them all they will worship this, whatnot, so forth, and the Egyptians tell them, here what is going on. We not worshiping that. Because what you want us to do is to worship you, because that God, it look like you. And we're not going to worship that, because what you want us to worship you, and we're not worshiping you. All right? And he ended up persecuting them and whatnot, so forth, and that's how they end up fleeing and going down to Sudan. All right? But the thing about it is now, is not just only Edomite you have there now. I feel that was really a chariot I was seeing there, you know. The thing just disappear now. No. It's a plane. That's now. You will bring it us now. Alright? The thing about it is now, the people, and the reason why I'm drawing the point with the Egyptians and all those Egyptians, those so-called Egyptians, and the people of Palestine, alright, is because they don't belong to there. Alright? And how did they get there? They got there through the Mohammedan conquest. That's how they managed to get the land of Egypt and whatnot, so forth, and want to claim that they are the Egyptians and all the... They ain't no freaking Egyptians. But come at the scripture, Kyle. Come at it quick and...
Micah 2:1.
Uh-huh.
It says, woe to them that devise iniquity
Uh-huh.
and work evil upon their beds.
Mm-hmm.
When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power. It is in the power of their hand.
Go ahead.
And they covet fields.
And the what?
And they covet fields.
Covet.
Covet, actually.
Covet. What covet is you cover shots, you envious it, you know, they take, yeah, the steal. Go ahead.
It says, and take them by violence.
Uh-huh.
And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
And not just only Esau is guilty, that the Ishmaelites also too.
Yeah, because Ishmael is another nation that live by the sword. Your blessing was also the sword. Scripture says he could be a wild man. In fact, if I bring it out, just
bring it out quick on.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11. I read it, says, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art the child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord had heard thy affliction. Verse 12 it says, and he will be a wild man.
He will be a what man?
A wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hands against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Right, he'll dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And as really, actually, when you watch the Ishmaelites and as you see how they spread out, you understand exactly what the scripture say they will be like.
Yeah, because in the Mohammedan conquest, they must force converting people to Islam. They will just cover anywhere they go, either Islam or death. That's how you could see it up to today. They have men doing that still, like the spirit on them.
Yeah.
In book Lost Tribe, it is no Babylon the Timbuktu. Into that, how they kill many of our people. Many of the Jews refuse the penalty of death. They become
Islamized.
Yeah.
Alright? Yeah. So now we're going to go to the book Babylon to Timbuktu, sorry. Who is Esau Edom? Alright? Now this book has it have a lot of meat in it, and also it have bones. You know, so you have to use discernment and whatnot to the power and spirit of your try to get to understand and eat the meat and spit out the bone. Now this here is going to help us to get further understanding of these people. Alright, because we just read through the scripture that the people in Genesis that the true people of Palestine, all right, modern day Palestine, which is ancient Philistine, they were Hamites. They were so-called black people. Now how now you have a bunch of people that don't even look like the original people and have a whole totally different culture, whatnot, so forth, and want to stake claim to our land, you understand, that they was never a part of, that they have no connection to. You understand? So this is page 39 of the book Who is Esau Edom. Alright, so I'm going to read a couple pages. Well, alright. So it says the area of Palestine had been under the control and rule of Turkey, or its Ottoman Empire, which had existed since 1299 AD. All right? Now, when they say 1299 AD, what bell that ringing to you? Now you hear Rashulam. What bell that ringing to you, Yassad?
1299 AD.
Yeah, the year 1299 AD. What bell that ringing to you?
Oh, it was not too.
Take your time. Alright. Wait, tell me, Yakal, what bell that ringing to you? What ringing to you, Ahmad?
Wait, it wouldn't be not too long before the coming of the Renaissance period.
Thank you. It was actually the beginning of the Renaissance period.
That was thing, right?
Thank you. That is exactly it.
No,
I know domino is right.
After that.
Yeah.
It really picked up from around 1350.
Right.
And then it went on to your 1400.
That, yeah, you understand? But that is when Esau started come back into power through the Ottoman Empire and the Borgia family and whatnot so forth. Right at the beginning of your Renaissance period, rebirth. You understand? Because the Ottomans, they are Edomites. Alright? So it says in 1882, Edmund Rothschild, alright, in 1948, began financing a Jewish society which attempted the immigration of a considerable number of 1948 settlers into Palestine, prompting the Turkish authorities immediately to publish orders to forbid further entry. Alright? So it says on May 17, 1901, Herzl. Now Herzl was a Amalekite, alright, dwelling in Eastern Europe, and these men are the founding fathers. These men we would look at as the founding fathers of Zionism, alright, and the state of Israel. Right? These men are the founding fathers.
So their heritage will go back to the Rockefellers, heritage will go back to them.
Yeah, to all of them, Rockefellers and Rothschild, all of them.
The state of Israel only existing through the Rothschild.
Through the Rothschild.
And them.
Yeah.
They funding that for Serge over the whole world.
Can. Right? So it says
and having these stupid Christians living in that.
So it says on May 17, 1901, Herzl met with the Turkish Sultan regarding Zionist plans and terms for a Jewish national home in Palestine, and an agreement was made. Herzl immediately went to London, where he spoke with much confidence of the success of his mission with the Sultan, and asked the Ish people for £1.5 million for the purpose of obtaining the charter. But the Ish people kept silent, all right, because at the time, they wasn't really seeing they didn't had that view. If you understand where I'm coming from, they wasn't really seeing.
They didn't have that vision.
Yeah, Daddy would have looking for vision.
We call it left hand vision.
Yeah, they didn't have the vision as at yet now, boy, you know, to really see what these men was coming from now, boy, all right, to obtain the land. But the Ish people kept silent, although the Ish population in general had no interest in settling in Palestine. The Zionists persisted, because why? These people was throughout all Eastern Europe, Poland and whatnot. All right? Right? This disinterest stems from the bulk of Jewry being ignorant of their own religion and what the Talmud and the protocols have to say regarding world control, because this is what these Zionists, this is what the whole intention they just use the right of return clause, or however you want to put it, to camouflage which is the true intention, which is really the New World Order. Because notice when they start with the shit, from in 1882, but really it goes all the way back to the 1700s with the beginning of the Illuminati.
Yeah, because in 1769 they removed the Apocrypha from the Bible.
Can.
The same distinguished elders of Zion and the Bible instructors group. They removed the Apocrypha in 1769.
Right?
So everything was a plan.
Can.
You know?
Can. So it says so it says for world control, the essence of Zionism, political Zionism, is part of the Ish religion as revealed by Rabbi Stephen S. Wise in stating, Zionism is Judaism and Judaism is unthinkable without Zionism. To establish their political goals, the Zionists needed a political change in the Palestinian territory. Why they needed a political change? Because it already had a presence in the land of Palestine with their own ways and laws and customs and whatnot, so forth, which is these Ishmaelites. All right? So it says, to establish their political goals, the Zionists needed a political change in the Palestine territory, and there is nothing that can cause political change more assuredly than war. The international Zionists, bankers, and plutocrats, that go like your oligarchs and them, these bigwigs, these bigwigs and them who willing to spend the money and whatnot, who manage to gather much money and whatnot through ill-gotten means now, boy.
You know, as you're talking, just keep your last word there. I'm trying to remember the family. Remember when Al-Azhar from Sakarina was dealing with Dr. Michael Brown now?
Can.
And they was talking about a certain family now, boy. I forget the name of the family, boy. All of them is the strong backbone of the Zionism now, boy.
Can.
I forget the name of the family, boy, and Michael Brown was trying to back him and say, well, yeah, because of that family, it's proved that them is the real Jews. Then waste of fucking time.
Waste of time. All right, thus in...
Forget the name of the family now, boy.
Can.
But they were doing strategically removing any evidence or receipts that
Can.
they tried to do. Remove all the receipts to trace on us to be the people.
Can. So it says, thus instigated the Balkan Wars from 1912 to 13, which brought a revolt against Turkey, weakening it and causing it to lose some of its territory. All right, because the Ottoman Empire was a vast empire. They had the whole of the Middle East and certain parts of Europe around by the Balkan seas and the Mediterranean Sea and whatnot, so forth, you know. So it says the Balkan crisis was like a powder keg in the European arena, and its repercussions helped to precipitate World War I. Right? Because through the Balkan crisis and whatnot, that ended up ushering in World War I and whatnot, so forth. On July 28, 1914, it was necessary to bring Turkey in on the side of Germany and the Central Powers, because the Zionists knew that an Allied victory was expected to result in major territorial changes in the Ottoman Empire, of which Palestine was a part, all right, which is really the land of Israel. It was a part of the Ottoman Empire, all right, from the 1200s leading on to the ending of World War I. Because what you have to understand, these Palestinians, they didn't even like the rule being ruled under these Turks, all right. And what the British did, the British come to them with a agreement that if they help them to fight against the Turks and whatnot, they would give them independence, because they want the Palestinians and them, they wanted independence from these Turks and whatnot. So they fought in World War I to help defeat the Ottoman Empire. All right. So it says on Turkey's entry into the war, arch-Zionists and 1948, Chaim Weizmann commenced a political campaign on behalf of Zionism. During this period, 1915, Weizmann met with Britain's First Lord of Admiralty, Arthur Balfour, explaining to him the historical roots of Zionism. Right? Right? Can? So he started, Balfour was willing to help, but you see the thing about it is, they know exactly what they was doing. They all know what they were doing. You understand? So it says Balfour was willing to help promote the idea of restoring, and it wasn't no restoring, was thieving. Alright? Thieving the Jewish homeland in Palestine. Alright? If it was
they put the word restoring, eh?
Yeah.
Because you know that is either one.
Can?
And he was buying up the land in between any land they could get. He was buying it out.
Can?
They put the word restoring, but it's not restoring, they were actually stealing the land. Making this and that, making so it's a real. Yeah, that's a demons boy way.
Can? So it says Balfour was willing to help promote the idea of restoring the Jewish homeland in Palestine if it was liberated from the Turks. The following year, 1916, several developments that greatly advanced the cause of Zionism took place. There was a strange cabinet crisis in December 1916, after which Lloyd George became Prime Minister, and Arthur Balfour became Foreign Minister. So we don't know it was the Rothschilds and them that had a hand in that. You understand? Because where's the main phrase, the main statement? Yeah, give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes the laws. You understand? So it says both these men.
Holy world could be so blind to watch them as the Jews that they may fulfill no form of prophecy.
Well, Ed, but this year go. So it says both these men and some of their immediate subordinates were outspoken supporters of Zionist aspirations, with pro-Zionist individuals now controlling British affairs. All right, so the British government was a puppet government of these ish people. It was essential that Britain prevail in the war so Turkey could be conquered and its Ottoman Empire overthrown. The international Zionists agreed to bring the United States into the war to help bail out Britain through the insistence of his intimate advisor, Zionist agent Colonel Edward M. House. Right? Yeah, he's the man who he was. Woodrow Wilson actually was he understudy, you know. He was a plant by these ish people and them. All right. So it says Woodrow Wilson brought the U.S. into the war in April 1917. The British forces took possession of Palestine from the Turks in 1917. Though the war persisted, the Zionists were pressuring the British to formally issue a declaration. Let's let us pass here. This ambulance pass here. All right, so it says the British were to formally issue a declaration that stated Great Britain favored the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Ish people. On July 18, 1917, Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild submitted a draft declaration to Balfour.
Culprit, that's not exposure.
expressing to him that the Zionists wanted. Later, Balfour addressed the British War Cabinet on the matter, and at that meeting, the declaration was adopted. 2 years later, on November 2nd, 1917, Lord Balfour wrote a letter to Lionel Rothschild enclosing a copy of the declaration and requesting him to communicate it to the Zionist Federation. This became known as the Balfour Declaration. To assure, watch this, to assure that Palestine would be in Zionist, because this is the reason why these people, this is the reason why these Palestinians always in war with these ish, because when they go to our old map of Palestine, all right, you would see that it was heavily populated with these Ishmaelites. But ever since these people came in on the scene from 1948, the population and the residential area and whatnot, it started to decrease significantly. You understand?
Because the Ish people and them keep
encroaching.
And that's what the voice today is about.
That is what it really is about, because of the encroachment and imprison them literally like an open air prison.
Because they see they feel threatened that the so-called Zionists and them want to remove the dome of the rock and all that kind of thing now. They know that all that is the plan.
Can.
But what the scripture says, the Lord will cause the Egyptians to fight against the Egyptians.
Can.
They cause the two factions among the Palestinians too.
Can. With between Fatah, the Fatah movement and Hamas. And
they create Hamas.
Can.
They created Hamas by pushing some of them to become more religiously fanatic.
Can.
And even funded them.
Can.
Even funded them. So divide and conquer, that old Edomite strategy.
Can.
You know?
So it says to assure that to assure that the Palestine would be in Zionist control, British forces were ordered to enter and occupy Jerusalem in December 1917. The highest of the ancient high places were now secure for these Ish people to immigrate into and occupy with the Balfour Declaration, which assured a Jewish national home in Palestine under Britain as the protecting power. Many 1948ers now for the first time gave their support to the World Zionist Organization. So they finally start to see the vision now, boy. You understand? They finally start to see see it within the reach now.
That proved that America is really a daughter of Britain.
Can.
America doing the same thing, protecting Israel.
Can.
And funding her too.
Can.
Well, Babylon, we really check the spirit of Esau. He funding all wars. From one going to two. Because that is all the stage. Esau in his mind telling himself, he running the whole stage pertaining to wars and set up his NWO. But really Lord using he, and in his mind saying, yeah, again this done, again that done. Same when he come with the MOTV, telling himself and trying to kill him and the Lord. I was saying, yeah, that today.
Can.
Kill him and Lord. He might thinking, yeah, again all these things done in my will. But really prophecy is fulfilling. So,
alright. So it says so it says at the conclusion of the war, the British received Palestine as a mandate under the League of Nations. Right, the League of Nations was before what you know now as the United Nations now, boy. All right, with the understanding that the Jewish people would be encouraged to settle there, but the discontent of the Arabs, who desired self-government, which was independence, because that is what, and the reason why there was discontent, is because they was sold a dream by the very same British that if all they help us defeat the Ottoman Empire, you all will get independence. Right? Right? And also there was also the British and the French, they was doing a deal behind the Arabs and them back, that what they would do now is split up the whole Arab world. Split up the whole Arab world. There's where you get your Kuwait and your Oman and your Saudi Arabia. Alright, because Saudi he name is Saudi, but he was a prince or something like that. So I can't remember what portfolio he had, right? But yeah, Prince was Sultan or something like that. So, and he got endorsement from the British, right? And because it was two Arab factions that was warring, and the British was supporting and he happened to win the war, and that's how he ended up naming that landmass there the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And he's on point, because they even went as far as splitting them up with the doctrine.
Can.
And that's where you get the different types of Arabs.
Yeah, Sunni and the Sunni and the Shiites.
Up to today, it's about 5 different.
Yeah, Kurds.
Yeah, different factions right now. Because they know that if they split them up like that, for sure, they're going to separate.
Divide and conquer.
Can.
Okay, I'll read that quick 2 verse, right?
Go ahead.
This Psalm 55 and 20. They say he had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Can.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Can.
But war was in his heart.
Can.
His words were softer than oil. Yet they were drawn swords.
Can. So basically what the so-called white man make deals with all these Arabs and them, and with the whole world, with all these nations, and then in turn stab them in the back. Alright?
Right.
Wage war against them and all these things. That's what you're seeing here now.
That's right to be too, you know. Not standing in the too shallow anymore.
Can.
Yeah, that is why.
They're like a bad way to bite them now.
Can.
That's the three prophecy I Lord to come to pass. The Lord talk about all our confederate with thee. Now everybody hate them because of the breaking covenants from a long time to now.
Can. So it says, at the conclusion of the war, the British received Palestine as a mandate under the League of Nations, with the understanding that the Jewish people would be encouraged to settle there, but the discontent of the Arabs who desired self-government and resented the immigration of the 1948ers led to constant turmoil, because a big part of it too, when these people came to the land, they started to persecute the Arabs and them. They started to persecute the Palestinians and them, and started to massacre them and kill them out and whatnot. All to do what? To thief more land. All under the guise that we are God's chosen people. Yeah? We are the Jews and we are God's chosen people and whatnot, so forth.
But like the Abdul Gaman Hassana, to let me say plain, he say, but you all could never live here in peace. Because you left here black and you come back white.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is something
to take heavy into consideration.
Yeah.
Right?
So like, and then when we look at the prophecies, there is prophecy indicating what will happen when the real Jews return.
Can.
And up to now, we see that happening. In fact, there's more wars and more escalating and more evils multiplying upon the earth.
Can. So it says, the Zionist plan was being threatened with the sympathy of and support the Arabs had in Europe. And it's the same thing we are seeing today. Alright? The same thing we are seeing today with the whole world now. The whole world now, everybody, free Palestine. I stand in support of Palestine, whatnot, so forth, you know, and showing off all the wickedness that these 1948ers doing and whatnot. But the thing about it is we could care less, because we support none. We stand with none.
Because none of them will be long days.
Can.
Because we remember we was in the hands of the Arab, also of the Arab slave trade.
Can. The sub-Saharan.
One of the biggest slave trade known and was recorded in history.
The longest.
I know what I say that. One of the longest.
And the longest current.
Longest.
Yeah,
Was the longest.
Yeah. Yep.
Alright? So it says, Yeah, and further, a spirit of nationalism was spreading through the Arabian world. Another dramatic scene.
So when you, so like, yes, when you Negroes in Islam, you all just run into that and you all never really check your height and realize what this whole thing was about? What this whole thing going back into? Do you know your forefathers suffered heavy under the hand of Islam and the tyrants of Islam?
Gone. Alright, so it says the Zionist plan was being threatened with sympathy and support, and the Arabs had in Europe. Further, a spirit of nationalism was spreading through the Arabian world. Another dramatic scene was about to be acted out on the center stage. Alright? Another political change was needed. The Edomite Zionist Jews were scheming world plans. So now, when the man said the Edomite, this is what he blatantly said, the Edomite Zionist Jews were scheming world plans. Howard, that's Salakia. Howard, what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Read it over one more time, friend.
All right, I read it over again. The Zionist plans were being threatened with the sympathy and support the Arabs had in Europe. All right, because when they came into power, when they came into the land, they was persecuting the Arabs and killing them out and thieving the land, thieving the houses, these things. And the word was the same thing like taking place today. The word was spreading out to the world, and people was falling in sympathy for these Arabs and whatnot, so forth. All right. So it says here, further, a spirit of nationalism was spreading through the Arabian world. All right, a sense of identity, if you understand where I'm coming from, you know. Right. Another so it says, so because of that now, because of that taking place, the Jewish people, they were seeing something. They were seeing that, you know, that the plans could be foiled. When I say foiled, disrupted. You understand? So with that, it says, another dramatic scene was about to be acted out on center stage. Keyword center stage. Another political change was needed. The Edomite Zionist Jews were scheming world plans. What that scheme? Where's that major scheme they were scheming there? Sorry? No, not democracy. Not democracy. Tell me your Rashalam. Yeah, but how they're going about down the whole order?
When you say go a little more, it go a little more in there.
No.
So in terms of after Israel?
Not really, not after Israel, in order for them to fully get the land now. What was that scheme in order for them to really fully get the land now?
Well, they want to demonize the Arabs. But that's all that's part of the machinery.
Yeah, all that's part of the machinery, but here, for time's sake, World War II.
Oh, that's where it was.
Because what you have to understand is this, World War I and World War II were fought for these people to get hold of the land. You hear what I'm saying, Howard? Alright. World War II, World War I and World War II were fought, alright, for these people to be justified, for the world now to cry out that the Jews need to go back to the homeland. Yeah, that was World War, because you have to understand, when although the declaration was given in 1917, they did not went into the land till 48. They didn't went into the land till in droves. You understand? They didn't went in the land in droves. They were still throughout Europe and whatnot, so forth, so forth.
Rothschild was purchasing pieces of land.
Right.
What they could buy, they was buying up.
They was buying up and whatnot, so forth, right? And whatnot. But they needed to perform a lot of false flags and whatnot, so forth. Your boy Hitler, You understand? Put up Hitler for it, yeah, and whatnot so forth, you understand? So that they could be justified, you know, oh Hitler killed, well I can't say it out because they go want to, but you know, it's Hitler, he did a number of slaughter and whatnot so forth.
Which was a lie too.
Which was a lie.
Way overstated.
Right? Which was a lie. So that they could be justified and going into the land. That was the scheme of the world. Right? The World War II was for them now to actually now go into the land. So it says
They create, say that come like order out of chaos now.
Can.
So they create that. And then not to mention, so like not to mention the facade they put over the world now. Having the world believing, or everybody in the world now, because remember you just read a world scheming.
Can.
So the facade now is that the world will see them as the people of the land. You have no other choice but to see them. But Jake out here, we in slavery, so we thinking, we done brainwash with the Willie Lynch Slim Jones. So we done thinking, we and all thinking, because we all in Christianity thinking, well, yeah, that is Jesus and his people. And we need to get them back in the land.
Can.
You understand, Job 9 and 24.
Yep.
The earth is handed over to the wicked.
Can.
You know, which they are the wicked.
Can.
You know, who we doing the lesson on right now.
Can.
Yeah, can. What the brother saying is on point because in another way, you know, they control the mass media too. So whoever everybody will tell the public is whoever they can believe.
I like what you say.
And the propaganda machine.
Right.
What's with propaganda?
So they say we need to run into this land, you know, because you know the Arabs and they know they killing out a certain amount of things. They bomb the school, whatever they say.
The people believe.
People believe, so they have all rights now to run in.
To justify and do they have a thing, they have a term for it. They have a term for it where let me say that's how we is one group here and I go and do something. Onto the enemy. Instead of they come to just persecute me alone, they come and persecute all here. I forget the term. No. Is a term. When I remember it, I will think it.
Our definition of propaganda here.
Go ahead.
Propaganda, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature.
Hold on, read that one again.
Right? Propaganda, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature.
That is
Esau there.
Used to promote a political cause
Can.
or point of view.
Right?
Advertising. And then they go back to false advertising and indoctrination. Brainwashing.
Can.
Brainwashing.
Re-educating.
Like virtual programming.
In order for them now to be justified to carry out the wicked acts,
so
to persecute.
So you know what? So you know what them use, and then pretending that they're coming against it. They actually use Christianity.
Yeah.
They use Christianity to brainwash we, you know, because as long as we could believe in white Jesus through Christianity, then we have no other choice but to see them as the Jews.
Can. Right. So let me continue here. And
which one of us can raise me and say we never believed them was the Jews? Every one of us.
Yeah.
I always remember in 2010, my wife went Babylon for the first time and she tell her sister living up there, I want to go and see Jews. You see? And she takes she down by the freaking thing and see them with the curly hair and she said them is the people. So not knowing that
because he never settled in his spirit.
Right. Like knowing that she is the Jew and them is the freaking
It was all part of the plan. You know?
But before you read on it, I just think I used to always ask myself a question when I was in Christianity. Ask myself, they say, well, we Africans. And I always ask me the question, like a teacher in school, I think, I say, but how are we not in Africa? Well, they say through slavery. I say, yeah, but it must be how the Africans, our ancestors, never come back for us.
Yeah, come to take us back.
African. The teacher said, well, boy, that's a good question, but boy, that is an answer everybody looking for up to this day. But yeah, no.
And it's so on point because that is all part of the plan. They get rid of your name and your heritage, they take you out of the land, they put some other people there, they give you another identity. You understand? Instead of they strip it from the heritage, but then they give it another identity, they take it in. It would justify going into the land. But it's not so easy. So there's a lot of work and a lot of planning and a lot of scheming behind them going there and succeeding with the plan.
Alright, so I'm going to continue here now. It says here, this part here now, it says the UN partition plan. Yeah? The UN partition plan. So I want Ezekiel 36 and 5 on deck. I want Joel chapter 3. I want Joel chapter 3 on deck. Alright? When I call, yeah, when I call for it, all they go give me it. Alright, so it says here the UN partition plan, because with all the turmoil that was taking place when these people come into the land and the constant wars with them and what have you so forth, the UN now, because the British end up giving up their mandate. Alright, when these people come into the land and what have you, the British had taken the mandate to occupy and help steer and govern and whatnot so forth. But with all the bloodshed and whatnot so forth, the British decided to take out themselves and throw their problem that they made. Yeah, their problem that they made and throw it onto the UN. Alright? So it says the UN partition plan. Palestine, now this is the thing here now. This is the point here now. All listen up carefully. Palestine had been occupied and ruled by the Arabs ever since the Muslim forces conquered it in 637 AD. Which was what? The Mohammedan conquest.
About 600 years after the death of your Lord.
Right?
Yeah.
The Mohammedan conquest. Because even after we had left Jerusalem after 70 AD and fled, not all of us went into Africa. It always had a remnant of Israel. Always had a remnant of Israel. Even when the Assyrians take the northern kingdom and carry them to the Assyrian captivity, it still had a remnant. The Lord has always leave a remnant. Always. You understand? So, through the Mohammedan conquest and what have you, and with the Mohammedan conquest now is where now they take over the whole, the so-called Middle East, come down into Egypt, alright, and spread all throughout northern Africa. Places like Tunisia, Libya and whatnot, because the people in Libya, they are not the Puttites. Alright? The true Puttites is the Somalians. Alright? Those people, how the Somalians end up from quite up to the north. Quite up to the north. On the coast of the north coast of Africa. And had to end up quite over to the east coast of Africa. Huh? Yeah. Alright, so it says here, Palestine had been occupied and ruled by the Arabs ever since the Muslim forces conquered it in 637 AD. The act of establishing a national home for one group of people in an occupied area such as this was an unprecedented innovation in international law. The Zionists faced the burden of convincing the world that the Jews should be given the right to occupy Palestine, since this country already had a population that had been there for centuries. And who was that? The Arabs. The Arabs had been there for centuries. From 635, they say, 637 Salakia, going on till now. But the thing about it is, these Arabs who claim in the land and calling themselves Palestinians, which is a changeover from the word Philistines, all right, they are not the people. They are not even of the lineage of Ham.
And they know that too.
And they know this.
They know that.
They know this, but the thing about it is, they're all fighting for our land because and the thing about it is, why we the Hebrew Israelites not feeling sorry for these people, not only because of the slavery, you know, but also they were a part. Somebody gave before they gave me them two scriptures, give me Psalms 83. Psalms 83, they don't want to start from one. Start from verse 4. Give me it quick.
The book of Psalms chapter 83 and verses 4. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a people, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
May be no more in remembrance, right? And let me see who it is.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom.
First on the list is so-called white man, and then who?
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites, boy. That is it right there. You don't even have to go through the rest. The Ishmaelites. Yeah, and the Moabite, and then Moab fall right after. That we number 3 enemy. You understand? But we're dealing with Esau and we're dealing with Ishmael right now. There's Africans. The Hagarians is Africans. Yeah. They are Egyptians also. Hagarians. Yeah. They are Egyptians also. You understand? So it just goes to show. You understand? So now give me the Ezekiel 36:5.
Ezekiel 36 and 5.
Go ahead.
It said, therefore thus said the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
The residue of the heathen. Who is the residue of the heathen that's speaking about there? All them under the UN, these nations under the UN, but mainly Ishmael. Because remember, Ishmael was occupying the land from since 637. Way before even the Ottomans and them come on the scene. You understand what I'm saying? And with that now, the Ishmaelites, they feel that they have some say. You know, they have some stake, they have some claim when they have nothing.
And then they had the goal to say, and after they say, when they realize now the Edomites come to fight them, now they ball now. Well, they so-called Americans, the real Jews, they have videos with them.
Yeah.
They try to put it up now.
Can?
Yeah. Now they
all the time there was Confederate.
Yeah.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Continue, read.
It says, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
To cast it out for a prey. Alright? What that script, you know what that scripture is? That scripture is the Balfour Declaration prophecy right there. That the prophecy of the Balfour Declaration. That is what that scripture is about. You understand? And this in the book here showing the prophecy being the prophecy fulfilled there. In the book that I read in here, who is Esau Edom? You understand? The book showing here that these people split up the land. Now I could go into more, but I will do a response to it on a later date. But give me the Joel 3.
Where you want to start?
From 1.
Alright, Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem, go ahead.
Right? I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Which is what? World War III, right?
And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage.
And for my heritage, go ahead.
Israel. Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
And parted my land. It backing up Ezekiel. The party land between the Ishmaelites, alright, and the Amalekites, the head tribe of Esau. And the thing about it is, why Esau, the main reason why Esau running and rushing and steal that land and whatnot is because these motherfuckers, right, had to what? To try to get back the blessing what? Carnally. Because they know by the
blessing.
Right?
Yeah, they try to get back the blessing by their blessing.
By their blessing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But the thing about it is it wasn't meant for them. It was never meant for them from the beginning.
Right, can the Lord already state what he stated. You know, he say, you will bow down knees to Jacob, and that's how we go.
You understand?
I can add something too.
Yeah, go ahead and ask now, yeah.
Well, I was gonna
Add some, oh, Salakia.
I was gonna read the precept, but I ain't read it again. Right, but it's in the same Ezekiel 36, you know, from 33 going down, well, higher up also, you know, because as you was mentioning, Amalek and whatnot, right, they over there right now, right, because we were speaking about earlier.
Somebody get that scripture, do you sort it with tears, there's no repentance for you, so do you sort it with tears?
Right, because we were speaking about earlier that these same devils, right, they portraying themselves to be us, right, and they're not fulfilling the prophecies, because in the same chapter reading down, they talk about what the Lord would do. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Lord see that thing and King David being one of the major prophecies, what would have come to pass if they were the real Jews.
Then the Bible says the land will be filled with milk and honey.
Can.
The land that's filled with milk and honey.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of
war.
Yes, wars going on, right? Yeah, well,
Go ahead now, Yerushalayim.
Joel 3 and verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people,
Which we don't know is auction block slavery.
and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine.
Which was buck breaking, right? When they say they give a boy for harlot, buck breaking, right? Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine that they may drink.
Go ahead.
Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Which is Tyre and Zidon, Salakia. Tyre and Zidon are who, Akiam? What lineage Tyre and Zidon come from, Akiam? Thank you. Tyre and Zidon, they are Hamites. They have the lineage of Canaan. Alright, go ahead.
And all the coasts of Palestine.
And all the coasts of who?
Palestine.
Which is those Ishmaelites. That is sub-Saharan slave trade there. Because the Africans, they were selling us onto the Ishmaelites. And the Ishmaelites was selling us onto the so-called East Indians and to the Chinese and the Ammonites and whatnot, so forth. You understand? Because that is always surely that when we came into Africa, we didn't went straight over to the West Coast. No, we was occupying certain parts of North Africa and mainly the eastern coast, Somalia and Sudan and whatnot, so forth. But right? But because of persecution from these Africans and being sold to the Ishmaelites, we end up starting to migrate into the interiors like Central Africa, go down more south to Mozambique and Tanzania and
all that is the prophecy being fulfilled.
And South Africa until what? Until we reach to the West Coast. Because there's where the Lord really wanted we to reach.
The Lord set it up nicely.
Yeah, nicely for when we reach by the West Coast.
To Deuteronomy
68 to be fulfilled.
Correct.
You know, it's beautiful. Apostle Taha, when show it was video, even on the E1B1A, and he show the breakdown of where the people scattered now.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Ghana and Nigeria and that area especially, you see a heavy concentration of Jake in that area on the West Coast. Right, we scattered all over Africa. We see a heavy concentration in our West Coast.
And how we end up there because of these same Palestinians. Yeah. These same because you had these same Arabs. These same Arabs, because when we came into Africa 1500 years after, that is when these Arabs started to come on the scene. You understand? And start to sell us. Start to conquer us and whatnot and sell us onto these other nations and whatnot. Right? So continue, Yerushalayim.
Right, Joel 3, and I'm going to continue verse 4. We don't verse 4. It say, yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? will you render me a recompense?
Yeah?
And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Can't so
And so like here, just before you speak there, read that cut off again.
Can. They say Joel 3 and 4, yea. And what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense?
Notice he didn't use the word Edom. Notice he used Esau Edom. Why? Because they believe that they warring against the Amalekites and Edom in a whole land.
Go on.
They warring against Edom, that they go recompense the Lord for all the troubles thing that. You know, that's how they think of it. The Lord say, even if you do that, he says swiftly and speedily, I go return it back up on your own head.
And who he directing it to Tyre and Sidon and Palestine, right? And the thing about it is, Palestine, the Palestinians now, that scripture speaking tantamount now, because the Palestinians they're trying to equate their plight and their sufferings to us when we was going through what we was going through. You understand? They're trying to equate their sufferings and whatnot to us. But the thing about it is, when we was, somebody give me Jeremiah 15 and 5. Quick, Baba Kusha, quick.
Them didn't care about me.
Jeremiah 15 and 5.
Nobody say how thou doest.
It don't take off.
The book of Jeremiah.
We go, let's bring
Jeremiah,
somebody shine a light for him now. That what I tell all we better we to go there.
Last time that cut off, and we had to
Jeremiah 15 and 5.
That nothing. Because I still seeing all here on the camera.
For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem?
Uh-huh.
Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?
And that's the thing about it here. When we was going through all what we was going through, you Palestinians, you Arabs, you all wasn't having no sympathy for us. You know how much of us was persecuted by you all, where you castrated a lot of our men, all right? A lot of us was slaughtered for either Islam or die. You understand? You all did us the worst of the worst. So you can't expect now to receive sympathy. Now the two-third niggers, they will want to, because they may know the ass from the foot. But we, the Hebrew Israelites, we have no sympathy for you all and for you ish people. For you ish people. All right? Don't feel like that's like we did to Elder Manata Zakba and think to come to try to feel like I catch him up in the words. You know, who we're going to choose. You know, like you're going to give we an ultimatum.
Man, fuck you and your ultimatum.
Can. Alright, I choose Yasharala. That's who I choose. I choose Yahweh Shai. I choose Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I choose Yasharala. Matter of fact, that what we choose.
Yeah, and even if we reach a position and we had to put we head on the block, we choose Yasharala.
Can.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala.
Right, Yasharala, boy.
Can. You understand? We almost done with one or two pieces up, and we got to call it. Let's shine a light.
There should be last precept. So anybody have anything to read? The name of it is called God's Kingdom to Triumph. But that should be the last one to read. Anybody have anything else to read? I don't have
a precept before him.
Make sure it's short.
Yeah.
This is short.
I go use your son and do a video on that tomorrow, Father's willing.
Oh yeah. Let's read this quick.
Yeah, bring it out, man. Bring it out.
49 and 14. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Salakia.
Yeah.
You know I wanted somebody to get for me?
What's that?
Jeremiah 25.
In fact, I'll go read that, and that will be the last precept.
You know what I'm talking about, Nagad?
Yeah. The Spirit of the Lord. One was reading was a nice one, you know, but I think that should be the answer.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, your Rasulam, and then Nagad go
Jeremiah 49 and 14. I have heard a rumor from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is where it come from, right? And an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come, rise against her and rise up to the battle.
Can.
What battle that is? You know? That battle of Armageddon.
I'm not going to say that. That the battle of Armageddon, Gino Jennings.
Yeah, and
World War III, Gino Jennings.
World War III. Look how Abdel Gamal Nasser resurfaced again. That's sent around the internet now.
Can.
How we say now the Jews left here black and came back white.
Can.
I will never have peace. And now the whole Islamic world rising back up together again.
Can.
They say, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Who are speaking about too? I them issues.
Can.
Right? Lord say what? Make them small among the heathen.
I think in one of them versions they say that he was gathering sons of Ishmael to make war with them.
Yeah.
One of them versions, I think everyone
and I go back into 2nd Ezra 15 where the Carmenians and
the Carmenians are Elamites, which is the Iranians.
Yeah, and the dragons of Arabia, they will come together and they will destroy us, a part of the Assyrians, which is the Edomites, right? They say, thy terribleness had deceived thee, which is Esau, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, blasted nasty Caucasians, right, cave dwellers, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Kodash. Alright, come to the God.
This is Jeremiah 25 and verse 15. For thus said the Lord power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Verse 16, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword
that
I will send among them.
Which is what? Judgment, which is World War III. Alright, go ahead up.
Verse 17, then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me, to wit Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, and to make them a desolation and astonishment, a hissing and a curse, as it is this day.
Continue. Right? Go into the nations.
The Lord. Right? Verse 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servant, and the princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, because a bastard dwelling in Ashdod.
I'm modern day Tel Aviv, yes?
21. Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon. You know, this is what has gathered the nation, and that speaks for itself. When you're watching news, all these nations that were just called there actually gathering together.
Go ahead.
Huh?
No, Salakia, go ahead.
China again. Verse 23 and verse 22. And all the king of Tyrus and the kings of Zidon and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan and Teman and Buz, and all that are in the uttermost corners, and all the king of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people.
All you Arabians, you're gonna get it. And the scripture, if we could drop it there, because you didn't call out the Elamites, all of them, they're gonna get it. But the point I wanted us to reach there was those fucking Arabs.
But in India in the BRICS nation, huh?
Yeah, they're in. There was always in the, always there.
They were the first set of members.
BRIs, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
And now
Saudi Arabia joined from January.
And now
Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, Argentina.
And Turkey. Don't be surprised to see Germany joining. Like I tell all this stuff, don't be surprised. Even though it sounds weird when I got to say that for, because I was looking up on something. Germany is now blaming America for some of she crisis that she had
Yeah,
on
what she
right
with
now.
fuel and whatnot, so
she
forth,
say,
yeah.
She say it's all because of America fall.
They destroy the
The,
pipeline.
yeah, the pipeline, the Nord Stream
Right.
pipeline.
Yeah.
Exactly. So don't be surprised if they cross water and the script they say, and these
No, well, I'm not going to say that, remember, they will still, whether they're drawing bricks on it, they will still, because why? These shall hear the whore, right?
Yeah. And the Lord will put it in their heart to fulfill his will.
Can so, with that, we hope you all was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua with this lesson here. All right. So those Palestinians, you young brothers and sisters, you all have to know the people, the original people of that land who was there even before us. That's the point I'm trying to make. Even before the Lord put us in the land and drive them out of the land. Right? These people were so-called Africans. When they go down into Genesis 10 and they go down into the lineage of Ham, especially the lineage of Matazarayam, which is the so-called Egyptians, and the lineage of Canaan. Yeah, the Horites and the Agarites and whatnot, so forth, they were Canaanites. These were the people of the land. They were so-called black people who you know today as the true Africans.
And they can prove that by going into the book of Numbers when Joshua and Caleb and the rest of the 12 went to spy out.
Can.
So they call the same names that they call in Genesis 10.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And those people that in the land, they are not the true people of the land. They came there through the Mohammedan conquest. Those Palestinians, they came there through the Mohammedan conquest. All right, that is the point what I'm trying to make here, for you young brothers and sisters, to have some level of edification, because a Christian or
I know I man one public video one time.
A Christian no Christian or no Pan-Africanist or a Muslim or even a Muslim could come to you with the foolishness. You understand? They use this information here and you cut them to shreds through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
Yeah, all you so-called Negroes and Hispanics that in Islam, you all need to get out of that.
Can.
The Lord is coming with fury and anger.
Can. So with that?
Yeah, can. And with that, we say shalom.
We say Kal Halayam La Alahaya Nawa Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem HaKakodash. Alright, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Alright, double salutation unto the brothers preaching, teaching the truth of the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatiyam, which is the sisters. Your brothers from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Campaign Trinidad saying shalom and signing out. Abad Babal, Abad Babal, Abad Babal. Khan, shalom unto the hopeful elect.